Hey guys, it's John back again from Critical Spec Gaming. We're here to talk a little bit about platformers, which is great because I am amazing at these. So before I go too much on a tangent, I do want to say that, I like platforming games. And I really want you guys to think about when the last time you played a platforming game was, to really scratch that itch you had. What was that? Was it Yooka-Laylee? Was it Mega Man? Maybe it was Mario? I don't know. I kind of want to touch on today's current state of the platformers, the community of us gamers, and where we stand with them, and the certain level of hypes that go into. I feel like we get let down by some of them, or maybe that's not even so much the fact. It's just like maybe there's something can be learned from our hype. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe the developers can learn something from that. Like, oh no, they need something more complex. But yet, when Yooka-Laylee came out, people were so excited, and rightfully so. I mean, the game did really, really well. It obviously has a fan base, and people enjoyed it. So that's definitely a thing. And to say that we don't want platformers or we don't want to go back there would be silly. Do, however, just want to ask, is it nostalgia? Could that be part of the reason we play platformers and that we enjoy them so much? And I personally think the answer is partially yeah, definitely. I think having those rose-tinted glasses on and looking back to the memories that we had with these kinds of games really brings out the best in them. However, obviously, nostalgia doesn't make for a great game. Sometimes we've gone back and played games that we love so much. For example, GoldenEye. It's broken. It's hard to play now. Obviously, it's great with a mouse and keyboard and not inverted, but that's besides the point. So how does that really affect where we're at today? I mean, Yooka-Laylee was a Banjo-Kazooie reincarnation per se, and it did well. People loved it. That's like, for example, Ratchet and Clank for the PS4, the remake. It was basically the first game with some add-ons and some new stuff, obviously reworked graphics, and it was phenomenal. I went back and played it. I couldn't believe how smooth it was compared to the original. I actually owned the original 3 for the PSP, so I've played those recently. But to me, it doesn't get old. If you're into platforming, I don't feel like that nostalgia really has a lot to do with it. I think partially yes, because of the memories that were tied to it. And for example, the original Mario, I look back, I'm like, oh my god, that game was great. But going back to play it, I'm like, leaves a lot to be desired. And I think that's sometimes where we need to, as gamers, take a step back and be like, okay, are we just getting hyped because it's nostalgia or not? Crash the Insane Trilogy is coming out. I am beyond hyped. That is something I will play. My wife will play. My mom will play. My dog will play, and my kids that aren't even born yet might even play. Who knows? I don't even know. But the point is that they are. There's something that always creates a feeling, I feel like, from the gaming community and from people in general. Platformers are generally a genre that is easy to pick up and not necessarily easy to master, but easy for the whole family to enjoy. Uncle Rick, you get your racist aunt, like all these people, and they're all able to kind of play together and enjoy it. And I think that's something that a lot of video games actually are missing out on, that special connection between game and player. Before I go too much further into a little bit more of my opinions of what I was saying, Ryan wasn't able to make it here for this video, so I just kind of want to tell you what his thoughts are on the platformers in the most summarized way possible, because he texted it to me. He'd like to say he wished they weren't a dying breed like they are. He said he grew up playing fighting games. Platformers were a close second for him. He spent a lot of his times indoors on the weekends, so games like Spyro, Crash, Mario. He said it was a game he's not sure. He played a Star Wars with a couple power battles. It wasn't that great of a game, but he's a huge Star Wars fan, so he enjoyed the action platformer. He would rent it from the local movie place when those were still a thing every weekend, so that he could get to the 4th level of the game, but that day never came, so he had such a blast wasting countless upon hours of times on the same levels, to the point where his 4-year-old self even knew how to dodge every time fire blast and just, kind of really learn the game. And it's a genre, he says, it's becoming irrelevant in a AAA scene, so he feels like we're relying more on indie titles to revitalize the genre, and I think I really agree with him there. I mean, like I said, we got Ratchet & Clank, we got Yooka-Laylee, which was a Kickstarter, and now we have Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. And I feel like if Crash does well, and people want more of this, I feel like developers will listen, because where there's what we want, there's money to be made. So I just find it very, very interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. That's a genre I love. I don't know. I mean, I have Kirby for my 3DS and I play it, so so I don't know. I think for the developers of just any major company, what they can learn is from platformers is that you don't always have to have this big free roam, guns out blazing crazy adventure with all these crazy commands. Yeah, it's nice, it's wonderful, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great games because of that. But I think sometimes the tried and true formula of jumping up and popping down on something's head, or pressing that button to spin and whack them out of your way, and breaking barrels and watching the currency fly all over the place, it's still super, super enjoyable. And I feel like I said, I feel like 100 times too many, and I apologize for that, but I really, truly, deep down, sincerely feel like our generation needs a revitalization of platformers. We don't need to flood the market. We don't need like 400 copies of the same game, although that's usually what happens. But maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's a bunch out there besides indie titles I haven't really seen recently, but I really could use some good indie games. Excuse me, I'm an idiot. I meant we could use some good platforming games. That's what I'm looking for. Don't get me wrong, I'll take more good indie games any day of the week. But it's like, even looking at this piece of junk I got off the browser, I typed in Mario games online in Google, and a website pops up with a bunch of them. You got like a hill climber sim with hill climbers, hill climbers, like an Android iOS game for those of you who don't know. It's like a Mario Kart version of that, where you can race like 4 different karts at a time. It's got this brawler one. It's got one where you can play the original Mario with a character from Contra, a character from Mega Man Samus Aran from Metroid, old school Mario, Link from The Legend of Zelda. There was another character, I can't quite remember his name or where he was from. But it's like, you get these small groups, or even just one person, who are developing these. Oh, look at that frame rate drop. Woo! Who develop these games for our entertainment. And yeah, there may not be millions upon millions of people playing them, but I still feel they're very enjoyable. And even the 2D brawler genre is like completely disappeared. And that's a different genre, but still, it's like these are all things that we don't really get anymore. And I want that. I know I'm ranting, but I want them. And I feel like there's a lot to be learned from this. I feel like as a community, we can maybe learn not to get so hyped over things because of Mighty Number 9, for example. We were really, really hoping, that spiritual successor to Mega Man was going to come, and it just wasn't. There's some people like it, and I can understand that, because in its own respect, maybe it's a decent game. I didn't like it. I didn't like the controls. I didn't like the gameplay. It just felt weird to me. I wasn't about it. I just wasn't. I'll be honest. But if that's your cup of tea, I can't argue that. But I feel like as a community, we can learn from getting hype over things like that. And that goes for any genre, actually. Like, when a game's coming out and it looks good, maybe we should tone down the hype a little bit. Maybe we shouldn't get our hopes up so far. In the same breath, though, maybe we should get them so low that we don't grab a game and have a missed opportunity of playing that phenomenal game that could be a game of the year. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on that. And as for the developers go, put some more soul into your stuff. Like, the guy that made Stardew Valley, one dude, did it all. And you can feel the love, that labor of love in that game. You can feel the soul in that game when you're playing it. It doesn't feel like something that was just developed over the course of a year and a half just to grab people's money. And even if you were to charge $40 for it now, I think most people would be a-okay with that. Even $60. There may be some people who are like, hey, I'm not paying $60 for that. That I'd understand. But you can definitely feel everything is right in that. Well, I guess that's really it for me. I just wanted to complain about the lack of platformers and say maybe we should be kind of careful with our hype. And that the developers can learn a little bit from, when people get hype over the up-and-coming games coming out, Either way, I appreciate you watching this video. If you could leave a comment below about, what platformers are to you and how you feel about them, that'd be great. If you could share this and subscribe and then hit that bell notification so you can join the notification squad for when we drop our videos. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you around in the next video.